Alright guys, today we're going to get started with those abstract portraits. You're going to have a piece of paper and we're going to start with a Sharpie marker because we're just going to go right into it and try to see what happens when we start drawing today. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your Sharpie and on the bottom of your paper we're going to create where the neck is. So we're going to do two short lines coming up. Okay? You could go a little bit wider or thinner. These pictures, these faces are going to be cut out later on, so just be in mind, just be aware of that because whatever you put on here, we want to make sure it's in one piece. After that, after these two lines, we're going to do the shape of your head. Now you can be a little different with this. It doesn't have to be a perfect oval. You can kind of be a little bit wild with this by creating a shape that wouldn't necessarily be the shape of a head. So you're just going to come up with a big oval types of shape, and then you're just going to make sure that it gets connected. Okay. And after that, I'm going to have you guys start filling in with the facial features. I have an idea sheet here that I made up for you guys, going through the eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and then even extras. So for example, if you're going to do an eye, you could do it in normal spots or you could do it right up here. It's really up to you. So if I were going to do an eye, maybe I'd start right here. I'd choose an eye and then I just go ahead and start drawing it where I want it to go. Okay? The more wild you do it, the better. Okay? So here's another one I was working on. You might think is kind of interesting. Kind of funky style here. Very wild with different techniques, different eyes, nose, mouth, and ears, and then even some extras on there. When you get to this point, we're going to make it even a little bit more crazy by creating it into more of a cubism style. So we're going to take a ruler and we're going to dissect parts of it by drawing lines across it, so then we can add in color in different parts of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and start drawing some lines here that dissect up the area to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to do diagonals. I might do, so like this right now I have this big area, I could probably go right through the middle here. And so we want big shapes as you go through the face here. Okay? So I feel like I need one going over here. You don't want to overdo this, but you just want to make sure that you come up with equal shapes as you're doing this. Okay? I think I might do one up in this area here. Okay? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be number 5. Okay, so I would say 5 is a good amount. You could do 6 or 7. I do have another area. Maybe I do one more over here. Looks like this area could need another one. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to extend this line right through here. Okay. So once you feel like you have enough lines and it's divided up in a different area, into different areas, then you're going to choose either warm or cool colors to start adding some color into it. The background is going to be the opposite of it, so it's very important that you choose either cools or warms and you stick to those colors because we want it to show up very nicely on the background. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to choose an area and I'm just going to be coloring in with my marker here one of the shapes. Okay. After that, so like this eye part right here, I could leave that alone. I could leave that white there if I wanted to make it like a highlight. But I'm just going to find shapes throughout the work to fill in. So for this, I wouldn't want to do a yellow right next to it, so you got to kind of divide it up and making sure that you separate your colors enough that the same color isn't right next to another color that's the same. So what you'll do now is you'll continue to work on this and you'll be working on adding your color today. Alright guys, can't wait to see what you come up with.